What it is, YouTubers. Unfortunately, we are still restricted from posting to our Facebook page due to Facebook censorship. But we are here on YouTube, and I want to appreciate all those that are going to be tuning in tonight. I see that we already got one who already disliked this live. It's probably one of Barbara Bergoli's minions, those who are trying to take us down. Oh, that's hilarious. I think it's funny as hell. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to be talking with Mark Ludwig here in a little bit. We're going to talk about our experiences that we shared while down in D.C. on the 6th, literally just over a week and a half ago down in D.C. And some things that may catch your eye. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, what we saw and what actually took place, there's two different things. Mark had his experience. I had mine. Cash Jackson had his, and so many other people that were down there. True American patriots, not necessarily Trump supporters. And first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know I'm not a Trump supporter. I've never been a Trump supporter, never will be a Trump supporter. But I'm sorry, but I do not see this as Trump supporters that we're doing all this. There's a lot of unanswered questions that we are soon to find out here in the coming days. But before I was restricted for posting all of those videos from the 6th on my Facebook page, that, several people had noticed some screenshots I was posting of talking parents from messages between me and my kid's mother. Pretty much her. I didn't respond to them. But, some people go, well, why didn't you file for contempt charges and everything? And I was avoiding that question. I didn't answer that question on the threads, but because here's the reason why, because things were in the process of being done. Paperwork had already been filed and already submitted. I couldn't talk about it because I know the mother watches, my podcast. She sends me messages all the time. Your podcast is more important than your kids. Your events are more important than your kids, which is absolutely untrue. I do this because of my kids. I do this for my kids, but not just my kids, but for everyone's kids that are out there. But ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, there's a lot of things that are about to happen this upcoming week. Of course, we got the inauguration that's coming up, and so many other great things. And if you notice here, we're actually on a different platform now. We're actually using StreamYards. So we are powered by StreamYards now, and this is the way we're going to be conducting our shows from here on out. We're not going to be using Zoom anymore. Zoom is just having a little too many problems when going live. But StreamYard is going to be our place to use now. And it's going to make things a lot easier. Now, tonight's show, we're not going to go a full 2 hours tonight. This is going to be a shorter show than normal. But yes, we are here. Stephen Ball sends his regards to everybody out there. He wished he could be on here tonight. But with everything going on, everyone is getting kind of on edge of what's going to happen. I said, look what's happening down in D.C. We got a lot of, of our military, reservists that are down there right now, securing D.C. The mayor has literally told people, do not come to D.C. Do not come to D.C. Well, guess what? We're going down one way or the other. Because for those that don't know, I am part of Veteran Liberty Network, VLN. I am a cameraman for them. We're actually going to be playing some videos here from what happened on the 6th that, from our perspective, that I was able to obtain down there. But yes, on the 20th, I will be going down to D.C. With Cash Jackson and many others from VLN to get some more footage for you guys of the inauguration. And we don't know what all is going to happen down there. We don't know if they're going to do the parade like they've done in the past after the inauguration, after they swear in and they come down Pennsylvania Avenue. We don't know what's going to happen. We just don't know. But I am actually going to take a short break here because I'm going to share this on Facebook. I can share it to Facebook. I just can't actually go live on Facebook at this time. I'm still restricted. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, enjoy this.
Guys, 1 in 3 families is affected by some form of parental alienation. You know somebody, I know somebody, we all know somebody. Guys, we got to keep continuing to spread this awareness. We need to be coming together and breaking the silence. We need to start getting here and taking some action and accountability and stop sitting on the couch. Get off the couch, because that don't do nothing for nobody. I'm Philly Slim. Don't forget, what we do today, it affects our tomorrow.
Courts have a financial incentive to take our children from us, to take us as parents, most often fathers, but also mothers. They reduce us down to visitors to justify child support order. And when they justify child support order, the state then receives federal funding through what's known as Title IV-D of the Social Security Act.
I did a great job and raised them myself pretty much. Their mom did what she had to do to help out, but she didn't allow the system to come in and force me to raise my own kids.
My daughter died. No one told me. And her mother still collected child support.
Let's go, Sarah. Come on, sweetie. Yeah, I understand, sweetie.
You know, I know a lot of you are going through the very same things that I'm going through right now.
I spent 15 years in prison because I didn't have my biological father there to influence me.
Anything you want to say? You're being accused of shooting a cop, killing him.
Society not letting me see my son. I lashed out at somebody that didn't deserve it.
85% of youths in prison were raised by single moms.
I haven't seen my son since November.
Like I said, I got one I ain't seen in 15 years.
I haven't seen my kids since December 2013.
I've been on house arrest for 2 years now for wanting to be in my daughter's life and being a father.
This doesn't just happen to men, this also happens to women. Mothers are alienated as well.
I'm personally a victim of a corrupt family law system.
They're being told by their father that your mother don't want you. She abandoned you. Do you know what this is doing to my children?
As President of the United States, I will do everything I can to address this inequality that impacts children.
Casualties of war. Warriors against the regime.
I didn't know that this was a common situation with divorced parents. Something that really people don't talk about, even if they have gone through it. It was time for me to put my foot down and start talking about it. And when I did that, I got a ton of people coming forward saying, I'm going through the same thing. I thought I was the only one in the world going through this. I wanted to reach out to tell you that I was Sydney once. When my parents divorced, my dad would put things in my head. I would yell at my mom. I call her every name in the book. I would hate my mom so much, but my mom never gave up on me. I'm 39 now. My mom is in my life. I love my mom. One day Sydney will open her eyes. A real parent doesn't tear down the other and let their feelings be known to their kids. Take care, and I will say a prayer for you. Just pray. Just pray for me too.
Thoughts of suicide may feel impossible to overcome, but with help and support, you can find hope and meaning. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK to speak to a counselor, or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's free, it's confidential, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even if it feels like it, you're not alone.
All right, we are back. I do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I had to go and share it to the Facebook pages in order to get some people in here to chat. But it's just been confirmed that they are not going to be doing the parade this year for this inauguration. So this will be... Yes, Blue. It will be available to share once it's over. I did post it to my Facebook page, to my secondary Facebook page, as well as to Rfirn's Facebook page. Like I said, we just can't go live right now on our Facebook page due to the restrictions of us sharing these videos that you're about to see. Some of you who have watched the VLN and War is Hell podcast, you guys have already seen this. War is Hell podcast, we also cannot go live there either. Because we're sharing these videos everywhere, because this is from our point of view, from what we've seen and what we experience down there on the 6th. But before I get into these videos, I do want to go back to my own case. Yes, for those who don't know, I am still fighting for my kids. It's been 11 years, or will be 11 years. It'll be 11 years this upcoming March 10th to be exact, will be 11-year mark. So 11 years, close enough. But yes, I did file for modification of the visits, as well as charges against the mother and the grandfather for their lack of contact that I was supposed to have within the case. Just last year alone, I had less than half of the contact that was supposed to be given. That's court ordered, signed by a judge. So yes, I did file for contempt charges on the mother and the maternal grandfather. In this case, she was served, and that's the reason why I could not address this on my Facebook before I got restricted. It's the reason why I could not address this, because it was in the process of being served. But last week, the mother was served, and actually, she was actually served, believe it or not, on the 6th. She was served on the 6th while I was down in D.C. I actually received some nasty messages that I will be posting here, because now I'm unrestricted from posting and whatnot of pictures and commenting. I just can't go live, like I said. But I will be posting those screenshots here very, very soon. It pretty much go, really, Brian? Jail time? It's like, yeah, I did request jail time. Now, in the request for modification of visitation, I'm hoping that I can be unsupervised and get more time with the kids. So when I am unsupervised and be able to have overnights and stuff like that. So on the weekends that I would have the kids, then yeah, let her and her father go sit in jail, for the weekend. She did a crime. There's other parents out there just like me who are going through the exact same thing, the trauma of not being able to talk to their kids or see their kids, even though it's court ordered. And see, that's the other thing. Not only has the contact been denied, half of what was supposed to be last year, but even the visits with my children have completely stopped because the mother is using COVID-19 as an excuse to keep the kids away from me. She's also claiming that I won't wear a mask. I never had a conversation with her on or if I would wear a mask with our kids. So I don't know where she's getting that information from. Maybe it was from the court-appointed visit supervisors, which were my parents at the time. But that's not me. I never had that conversation, and I will never have a conversation with her on such of a matter. That's not for her to decide. It was court ordered by a judge, signed by a judge, and she has completely been in violation, as well as her grandfather, or as the kid's grandfather and the maternal grandfather. So yeah, I did request jail time because she committed a crime and she needs to pay for it. If she doesn't, get reprimanded for it, what is that teaching our children? It's teaching that they can commit a crime and get away with it. No. The courts need to step up and start being the role models that they're supposed to be and hold these parents who have violated court orders accountable. Simple as that. And that's what we deal with here, ladies and gentlemen, RFIRN. We talk about situations just like this because the courts, they do not hold these parents accountable for violation of these orders. So it's time that the courts must step in, must interject, intervene, and start holding to their own standards of court orders. And that's what I'm recommending that this judge, in my case, does, is fulfill her oath, fulfill the order that she's so written, and hold the mother and the grandfather accountable. So that's that. that's the reason why I could not address that via my Facebook page at the time, because I was waiting for the mother to be served. Like I said, she was served, back on the 6th. So, yeah, we know for a fact, because like I said, I even received messages from her via Talking Parents. And for those that are out there, ladies and gentlemen, who watch us on a regular basis, who comment on a regular basis, I highly recommend that if you're going through such a situation with the other parents and you're going through court situations, I highly recommend Talking Parents. Now, there's a couple other programs out there. Don't ask me off the top of my head, because I can't remember off the top of my head. But there are programs out there like Talking Parents that's supposed to help with co-parenting. And unfortunately, with some individuals, it's very hard to do so, to co-parent with the other individual because of their hostility and their complete anger and hatred of you. So trust me, I know, I've been going through it. I've tried to communicate. I've tried to do this. I've tried to do that. I've tried to go parent with her, but she just does not want to. So we know how that goes. But we'll be addressing that more. I know Carlos Rivera, he wants to interview me more on my case. And he's done that before, twice actually. Once on his podcast that he used to do, In the Best Interest of the Child. And then he also just interviewed me again not too long ago right here in my own home. So hopefully that will be airing soon as well. But he wants me to come back on and give a broader update to what's been happening over the last couple of years, which I will be doing that on his show on iRadio USA. So if you can, go check out iRadio USA. It's from Long Island, New York. Great show. Eric Koppelman runs that program up there. Great program. He's going to wind up start airing our shows here on his platform every Sunday night as well, starting at 9 p.m. So, but ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a guest on Rfirn, if you want to share your stories with us, your situation, what you're facing, you want to get some guidance, we're not attorneys. We've never claimed to be, and will never be attorneys here. But we take our own personal experience, our own personal knowledge of how the system is and how it works to bring you some guidance, because we understand how long and how hard this battle can be. Like I said, it'll be 11 years on March 10th. Literally 11 years. You got Cash Jackson, who's been fighting for 5 years. You got many others out there. Christy Beck, who's been fighting for her child. And so many others. I hate mentioning names because, you just miss so many great individuals. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we're here. That's why we do the show, is to bring guidance, to bring some assistance, to help you be able to cope as well as deal with your situation and give you some guidance on how to fight it too. Like I said, we're not attorneys, so we don't give legal advice. We only give advice based upon our own personal experience. And in the past, Stephen and I, we've been able to reunite child with their other parent, whether it be mother or father. I am in the process of working on our old shows, bringing them to YouTube. We're going to be uploading them here very, very soon. I got to get them all edited and cropped and so forth. But yes, we are bringing those old shows to YouTube, and we'll be uploading them here in the near future. But ladies and gentlemen, we also have a web page now. We do have a web page now. So if you go to rfirn.com, you will actually be able to see our page. And I'm actually going to show you that here in just a second. Let me go ahead and do this. Get rid of you. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Here we go. So here's our Facebook page right here, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what our Facebook looks like. That's just the home page. But you got About Us, Contact Us, videos. And, of course, the videos you're going to be seeing tonight, you'll be able to see them down here. So here are the two that you're going to wind up seeing tonight. You're going to be seeing a couple others, too, from, Cash Jackson as well as CJ. But there's all sorts of videos that we're going to be posting up here. These right here are going to be where our shows at are right now. And eventually, once we get the stream up and really, really going on the webpage, you'll be able to listen live right there during the live stream. So we got links here too. We got the VLN website, the Facebook page. We got War as Hell podcast, YouTube. We got here's iRadio USA. And all you got to do is just click on find out more. And boom, there you go. I sent you right to that page. So let me go back here. Click off of that. Come on. There we go. So yeah, and then of course, ladies and gentlemen, good old Nancy Schaefer, somebody that we speak so much about, in regards to the whole aspect of what she was speaking of. We live every day by her legacy. It's got everything. It's got videos, it's got pictures, it's got links to different things. So yeah, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, go check out our webpage. Like I said, it's rfirn.com, rfirn.com. Let's go ahead and get that off of there. And yeah, check it out. Let us know what you all think. But ladies and gentlemen, right now we are going to play some videos for you. We got Mark here with me as well. He just came on. What's going on, Mark?
How you doing, guy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself? I see you've been doing some Ubering tonight, I hear.
Yeah, I got to try and make some money here.
Yeah, there you go. So you are indeed coming back to DC for the inauguration, correct?
Yeah, I won't be there for that.
You won't? Oh, come on. You're welcome to stay here like you did last time you were here.
Yeah, gonna pass on that one.
Oh, okay. No, I will be going down.
Wow.
Those who are going to be with me, we're going to go by Metro. We're not going to drive down there. We're going to go by Metro. The Metro station is literally right around the corner from me, like a 5-minute drive. So we're going to go park at the Metro and head down there. And, and get some footage. We're going to try to get as close as we can to the Capitol building. I don't know how close we're going to be able to get to.
I was going to say.
We're going to try to get there as close as we possibly can and get some footage of what may be taking place down there. We don't know what's going to happen. We just been notified that there isn't going to be a parade like there's been in previous inaugurations, which is very unfortunate. But nonetheless, we're going to be down there to get some footage of what may take place down there. But Mark, I really got to get some of these videos out there. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this on your screen or not. But this right here is literally of the Washington Monument. Mark and I, we went down a little ahead of time before Cash and CJ. All right, want to go up there? Let me turn this volume down a little bit. But, we were there a little bit earlier, so we were able to get down to the Washington Monument where everybody was just lined up, right there waiting for Trump to come out to speak, listen to the other speakers and whatnot. And, it was an experience being down there. But what you see here is just, patriotic members just being down there supporting their president that's still in office today. So what are your thoughts on that, Mark?
Yeah, definitely. You and I got to see a much different view than what the media is portraying to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one thing I did a Facebook Live on my personal page, and I don't know if you have the pictures that I sent over, but
yes, I do have the pictures.
You and I both noticed that before everything happened. Yeah, if you look at that picture, notice nobody's wearing masks in that picture. Yep. There's no masks. There's for the little COVID things that we all have to wear every time you do an Ubering, it's a riot. Every time you walk in a restaurant, you don't have your mask on.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody was wearing masks or anything. But more importantly, notice the vibrant colors. Almost everybody has either a red hat, a blue hat, a white hat. Mm-hmm. And I noticed when you and I were at the Capitol beforehand, because I was waiting we were supposed to have a stage with Ed Martin for the Phyllis Schlafly Eagle Foundation.
Yes.
And I was looking for the stage, and I started realizing that, okay, several things seemed odd. First thing I noticed is that there were a lot of people. First off, the Trump people hadn't come down Pennsylvania Avenue yet. You and I.
Oh, yeah. We left a good half hour even before Trump even stopped speaking.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we were down, and you and I hooked it. I mean, we were hustling, and we had an open track. Everybody else, when you're walking in a crowd like that, you can't walk near as fast as you and I did.
Mm-hmm.
So we were down there way beforehand. So they hadn't arrived. But what I did notice is people coming from behind us. We were on the east side of the Capitol that faces the Supreme Court building. And I noticed a bunch of people coming from behind us, behind the Supreme Court area, east of the Capitol. And the Trump event was west of the Capitol by a mile. So here's the people coming from east of the Capitol, all dressed in black, all wearing ski masks and goggles, and they had the masks with them for in case there was tear gas or anything. But it was just distinct in my mind. I still remember thinking, why are all these people dressed in black coming from the opposite direction? Mm-hmm. Then if you show that other picture, that when you and I were standing there facing the Capitol, if you'll notice, the people at the top of those steps are all wearing all black. So you notice everybody else in the crowd is all red, white, and blue, vibrant colors, but everybody near the Capitol doors and the Capitol windows were all wearing black. Yeah, notice that. Yeah, I mean, it's distinct there. Now, that's not covered anywhere in the media. That's not a doctored picture. I'm too stupid to know how to doctor things. I mean, that's literally my actual photo from my phone right there. And notice everybody in black, and notice all in the middle, all the vibrant colors and everything. Mm-hmm. So, not giving a complete out for all the Trump, because there were some Trump people that penetrated. So I'm not. I always tell people there's one side, the other side, and somewhere in the middle is the truth.
Yes, absolutely.
So I won't make excuses for the Trump people who were in there. I see where they're coming from. I think they were dramatically wrong and drastically wrong for going inside the Capitol when you've got members of Congress and the vice president in there. Mm-hmm. But it's not like the media portrays where it was only one side going in.
Absolutely. Even as we are walking towards the Capitol, ladies and gentlemen, I was pointing out people that I recognized from being down in D.C. from previous nights. And I'm talking about from what happened back in November when Trump had his rally down there and they marched from Freedom Plaza to the Supreme Court that day, when the entire thing was extremely peaceful. Now, at the Supreme Court, there were a little bit of clashing back and forth between Proud Boys and Antifa. But of course, there was a police line already blocking Proud Boys from getting over to where Antifa was. And there were members of Antifa that did get arrested that day. We actually got footage of it. Myself and Anthony Sabelli and Frank Can, we got footage of Antifa members getting arrested that day. One actually hit one of the officers in the back of the head. In a dispute that he was having. But those events were actually extremely peaceful. And all the Trump events that's happened down in D.C. have all been peaceful, all up until the 6th. Now, I want to go back very briefly because back in November at the Trump march, the Stop the Steal march, Proud Boys and Antifa were going at it at night. Literally, once it got dark, Antifa really came out of the woodworks. There was at least a 250 strong, if not more. Proud Boys, of course, because they were there for the march. Of course, they were, in bigger numbers. But Antifa came looking for trouble. That is no if, no ands, or buts about it. One of our guys was actually able to, while on a drink and food run, was able to get in the midst of Antifa, and he kept texting me going, hey, we're here. And they're literally heading direct in our direction. They're getting closer and closer. So, but the whole thing is here that, on the 6th, what happened back on the 6th was the first time that any Trump, rally, march, whatever you want to call this, ever got out of hand. This is the first time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been to literally dozens. I think, I was on the Trump team. Mm-hmm. And I helped organize some of the mega rallies that we've had in arenas and things. And I've been to dozens of Trump events, and never have we had any problem. The only problems were the opposite side. Matter of fact, if you talk to any police officers, if you talk to anybody who works for any of the conventions or arenas that we've had, they've all said the same thing. They're like, oh my gosh, you guys, you pick up your own trash. Everybody's so polite and respectful to the police. And the other thing that I noticed too is as I was in D.C. a few weeks earlier, and Cash just happened to be up there. Cash, Anthony, and was it Frank? I can't remember who else, but there were 3 of them up there. I stayed at the Hotel Harrington because I had some meetings with members of Congress, and I was actually a guest speaker with Ted Cruz and Rand Paul at the Eagle Council event this year. That's what I was up there for. And Cash and Anthony, and I don't know if it was you or Frank, but several people went out at night. And there were Antifa. This was during RBG's funeral. Mm-hmm. And so the thing that strikes me as odd is, you mean to tell me Antifa shows up to protest at every Trump event, but yet the biggest thing that was going to happen, they were going to sit that one out? There's no way you're going to convince anybody that they've attended anything that had anything to do with Trump in D.C. for the last 6 months. And now the single biggest Trump event, they were just going to sit out and say, we're not going to show up at this one. Mm-hmm. There's no way. They were planning to do some infiltrating, which, as we now find out, John Sullivan from Utah, we have footage of him in that. Matter of fact, he was only about 10 feet away when Ashley got shot. He was in that hallway. So we have footage of him in there instigating people and riling them up. Now, once again, that's not to give the Trump people an out, but it's just to say that we're not getting everything in the mainstream media.
Right. You're absolutely correct on that. And Mark, I do want to also mention, when we went down there, we actually had a purpose to go down there for. Like you said, Ed Martin and several others were actually supposed to be speaking on a stage on the east side. Unfortunately, that did not take place. We were actually trying to find where the stage was. Correct?
Yeah, I was part of that team. I mean, I've been a part of the Eagle Council, and we were supposed to have a stage that was supposed to have been, and I still never have found out where was our stage, because our stage was not there.
Yeah, and, we walked the entire east side. We found one stage, and it was not for Ed Martin or anybody of the Eagle Forum.
Yeah, there were supposed to be 15 events.
Yeah,
and 2 days before the event, they told us that our stage we were allowed to have was 12 feet by 12 feet and 2 feet high, basically a tiny little riser. Now, tell me how you're going to have an event that we were expecting quite a few Eagle Council people to be at our event. And we were going to have a 2 foot high, 12 foot by 12 foot riser. That's just ridiculous. And they also put limitations on the generator we were allowed to have because of noise. So our microphone system was not going to be even remotely adequate for what we needed for that type of an event. But yeah, I was never there. And so that was when I finally figured, you know what, I'd kind of like to just see what's going on. And it was just so weird that you and I just happened to be there.
We were.
And I still remember the penetration on the left. I'm like, Brian, look, Brian.
Yeah. Well, look, you'll be able to see it right here, because we're literally talking, and right before even you see Mark come in the screen, you will see people literally pointing to the left. And let's see if I can. There we go. So people are starting looking to the left now.
Yeah, Andy Biggs just said that.
So you'll see Mark in the screen here in just a second.
Yeah, that's Princess
Well, there's your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
So there goes Mark. He's looking. Then he literally tells me.
Oh my gosh, Brian. I'm such a dork. Oh my God, Brian. And then it was literally 5 minutes later that the big one happened at 1:50.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's no way the Trump people could have been there by 1:50.
Yeah. No, so right here, right there is where people start.
And yeah, notice all the colors again. Look at all the hats.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at all the black that's right there. Right here. Look at all that black right there. There's no vibrant colors there whatsoever. And I took the sound down so you guys can't hear, so you can hear Mark and I clear. But clearly, there's no vibrant colors right there. Nothing. And then let me go to the next video here. So here we are. When, the police got them all backed up. Let's see. Get closer.
Yes, this is where we're coming up on the one on the right there. Oh, yeah, because I remember that motorcycle guy going by.
Yep. So now here's the Trump crowd start coming up the brick road right there, coming from Union Station. Now, granted, I want to make note of this, ladies and gentlemen. This is also 20 minutes prior to Trump ending his speech.
Yeah, this is at 1:50, so there's no way Trump's people from his rally were there.
Yeah. So this is 20 minutes prior to Trump ending his speech at the Ellipse. Let me turn the volume down a little bit. Here we go. But if you notice, people are starting to push the barricade back. I'm literally holding a tripod. Matter of fact, I have it right here. I'm holding this tripod like this, okay, up in the air with both hands. So it definitely was not me that was pushing the barrier down. But you see them all right there. They're literally pushing up.
Yeah, and notice all the Trump people, they're not pushing all the barricades we were in front of. We were just watching. Now they did finally push, but if you'll notice, the majority of people behind us.
Well, if you notice, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, should I go over it? Should I stay here? And I'm sitting there
I was thinking at that point was, you've got members of Congress in there. Technically, they have the right. I think I even told you that they have the right to shoot. I'm surprised they didn't shoot.
Yeah, but I'm literally sitting there before you start to see me go over the barricade right there. I'm literally thinking to myself that song, should I stay or should I go now? Because I'm like, oh my God.
The majority of us all stayed on that main level area, never walked up the steps.
Now, I did go up the steps.
Yeah, see, I never touched the steps just out of respect, just because I'm such a history buff. In my mind, it's sacred property. So I never.
Well, yeah, it is sacred property. I didn't go up on the steps until a little bit after this, because I'm trying to stay back a little bit. I'm not trying to be one of the aggressors, but I eventually do get up there. So here I am. I'm not on the steps yet. Here's where I'm on the steps.
Yeah, and somewhere in that crowd is that John Sullivan from Utah. I haven't been able to pull him out of any of my footage yet, but John's in there somewhere, the big Antifa guy from Utah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I believe he came from the left of us. He was in that initial barricade off to the left, and then once they pushed the right barricades, he came in, and he's in the middle of that crowd somewhere.
But I did wind up getting up to the first tier, where I was getting some footage from up there. I hadn't gone all the way up yet.
But if you notice too, look at all those motorcade. There's 9 vehicles from the vice president's motorcade. Now, how many times did we see in Portland and Seattle where if there was a cop car anywhere, they'd have been burned and lit on fire and all the windows broken? Not one window was broken in over 200 cars that were around that property. None were lit on fire. None were spray painted on. No broken windows, not a single one. So I'm not saying what happened at the Capitol wasn't serious, but in perspective to this phony outrage that we're hearing from the media that this was such a horrible, horrible event, compared to Portland and Seattle and all the other things that the rest of us have had to endure over the last 10 months, I think that was fairly tame.
You'll recognize this guy in a minute.
So, and then I'm going to have to get hopping here in a second.
Okay. Well, I was able to get right up next to Alex Jones again.
Oh, that's right. I heard that he was there.
He was there. He was at the top of the steps. That's actually what caused me to go up to the top of the steps.
That's right, because he was at the rally that we were at the night before, and I didn't recognize him. I was doing a Facebook Live, and I was looking for Roger Stone. I was in the VIP tent, and I was trying to go over and talk to, and somebody is on my Facebook Live typing in, "That's Alex Jones standing next to you."
Yep.
And I didn't recognize him. I'm like, where? And they're like, you can hear his voice. He's right next to you. And then, so then I go over to Roger Stone, and later on, Alex came on stage and walked right past me and everything. And that was when I was telling people, I'm like, somebody get a hold of Brian. I've got a backstage pass. I want to get
my phone was literally being blown up that night because I was at work when all this was going on the night before. So I wasn't able to get down there. But yeah, look, I'm literally every single event that I've gone to down in DC, somehow, some way, I get up there with Alex Jones.
That was wild.
But yeah, no, but I did get up close to the door. I didn't go in. I refused to go in. I agree with going up to the door and getting our voices heard, but actually going across the threshold, that's where I draw the line. But let's see here. Where's the footage? So there's the doors open right there. But yeah, that's how close I got. After that, I stopped going forward. I actually had 2 guys literally wedging around me to stop people from pushing me. But yeah, that's how crazy it is, ladies and gentlemen. It was indeed a crazy, crazy day that day. Something that was totally unexpected. Like I said, we just happened to be there. Now, there were situations that were, and we're going to go in more in video here once Mark leaves. But I really want him to touch on the things that he really saw, because he and I got separated on the east side. When they started making the push for the steps and everything, I went up there. Mark stayed behind, and then he went around to the left side of the stairs. So from your own personal perspective, tell us about that.
Yeah, just real quick, because I'm gonna have to get hopping here. Well, I was there when everybody, right after Ashley got shot. By that point, I was right to the door where everybody was running out, and I saw the people coming out now. And I even told you, I was like, somebody just got shot in there.
And I was like, no one got shot.
Out, being just, you could see this look of horror on their face.
Well,
And
this
then,
this all happened on the House side. On the House side. So if you actually look at the east side at the Capitol building, it's on the south side of the Capitol building. So nobody heard this until, like I said, somebody actually came up and told me that it was an FBI who shot her. So, and we couldn't confirm that.
I do know for a fact, because I've talked to a couple of friends of mine that are members of Congress, and there were definitely members of Congress in the chamber when like I said, I know it's unfortunate, and I know she's unarmed, but you have to put yourself in the shoes of the people who were there to protect the members of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
You've got members of Congress, and all you know is people have already penetrated 7 stopping points that they've made it through. There's only 2 more left at that point. The door that she's crawling through, there's only 1 more after that. And there were only 4 people to protect 20 members of Congress who were still in that chamber.
Mm-hmm.
If they had actually pushed through, if they would have had guns. Now, like I said, we know now they didn't, but you didn't know that at the point.
Yeah.
All you know is there are hundreds of people running into the Capitol, and if they had high-powered weapons, it would have been all over. So I know it's very unfortunate. I know people may disagree with me, and I respect that. But I don't fault the guy for shooting. She broke that window and she was going through. There was only 1 more place before there were 20 members of Congress that were sitting ducks in there.
There's actually an officer that's getting a medal, the Medal of Honor, I believe it is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the one that took him up the stairs the wrong way.
Stairs, he actually almost took him down to where the door was to the House floor. But he wound up turning around and go on the opposite way. He actually took the people from the House doors because there's nobody there protecting him. Yeah, the Senate doors.
On the Senate side.
On the Senate side. So my apologies. It was on the Senate side.
Well, it's the neat thing. I don't think they planned it that way, but that I've been in that Capitol dozens of times. It is such a maze that if I didn't have legislative aides walking me, taking me through every time, you get lost in there so easy, even with as many times as I'm in there. There's so many little hidden spiral staircases and everything that you really got to know your way around there to figure out how to get to the chambers.
Mm-hmm. Now, I also do know that on the north side, because we were actually going over to the west side once things started to calm down on the east side, the north side, they were actually penetrating there as well. And they actually OC spray and pepper spray and everything was all being sprayed. I know both of us wound up taking off, going back towards the east side. And I came around and went back towards the west side and got more footage of the north side. But I was upwind of all the spray, so I wasn't getting hit with any of that.
I got a small amount, but I've got bad lungs. So that dinky little amount I got was enough for me. That burned like crazy. Even when I got back to your house that night, it was still burning me.
Oh yeah. We all had it. Cash had it. CJ had it. We all were coughing our lungs out from being sprayed like that. But I actually made it over to the west side where Cash was. I'll be playing some of those videos here in a moment because I know you got to go get back to Ubering.
Okay. But I've got a conference call at 9 too that I got to get on too. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to thank you for joining me tonight and sharing your experiences over there and letting people know that, hey, this wasn't just Trump supporters or patriots that were doing this. This was a mixture of different, organizations. And I'm a true believer that I saw it. I know as we were going to the Capitol, I'm like, there's Antifa right there. I kept pointing them out. And especially
we were seeing them all, and it was just so obvious when you saw the ski mask. You saw I've been to dozens of Trump rallies. We never saw people with ski masks and stuff like that. So
this was the first time ever.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that we can't trust the mainstream media anymore to be a journalist and report the news. Instead, they're trying to put a spin on the news.
Yeah. Well, that's why you got people like myself and Cash and everybody that are out there getting footage and reporting on what's really happening, because we already know mainstream media is not telling the truth. They fabricate it. They make it seem worse than what it actually is. And yes, were there rioters that got into the Capitol building? Of course, we know that. We've seen footage of it. I got footage of people going into the Capitol building, and those individuals are being held accountable for their actions. A matter of fact, you even had the FBI waiting at your door for you when you
they were waiting for me when I got. My footage got used apparently all across the country on TV stations. And I'm pretty well known in St. Louis. I was on a couple of TV stations in St. Louis and several radio shows in St. Louis. And then their affiliates from around the country started calling me. So I ended up being on dozens of TV and radio shows. And so, you know, obviously by the time I got home, the FBI was waiting for me. And fortunately, I've got a buddy of mine who works for the FBI, because at first I didn't know, is this really the FBI or somebody trying to, I don't know which side these people are on. So I called a buddy of mine. I'm like, okay, I got these agents here. Are they legit or not?
Well, I got a question here for you, Mark, by somebody who just commented. Goes, what would a 10 to 15 mile drive be charged for Uber?
No, I don't know. I know what we get for Uber, and it's definitely not what Uber charges you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally we get about a $1 per mile is usually what you get. Somewhere in that. Now, most of your money is made on tip. For me, it's Uber Eats I wouldn't survive right now if it wasn't for Uber Eats. I mean, I'm putting in literally 12 and 14. Last night I Ubered till 3 in the morning. That's not an exaggeration. Started at a little afternoon and Ubered till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And
well, I can actually contest to that, because I order out a lot because I'm hardly ever home. So when I get home, I just don't want to cook and dirty up my kitchen. So I order Uber Eats a lot.
Yeah,
so,
and people are very generous with tips on there, and that's what keeps you going is Uber Eats and the tips.
Yep.
All right. Well, I do need to get hopping because I do need to get in a different area so that I can make sure that I can get on this conference call.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, when you come back to DC next time, let me know. My home is open to you as always.
All right.
So you're more than welcome here anytime. And if I can get down there with you, I will definitely do so. But it also depends on my day job.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for everything you do too. I sure appreciate all your coverage.
Thank you, brother. And we'll definitely be in contact, my friend.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Have a good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, like I said, I did get up to the doors. Let me go ahead and share the screen again. There we are. So this is how close I literally got to the Dome Capitol building doors. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. But I have another one here. This guy right here was actually in the Capitol building, the one that's got the megaphone speaking. That guy right there. This one right here. But I actually got to talk with him very briefly. Let me get up to where it's at. Come on. So I'll let you listen to it for a second. Here you go.
Anybody that stayed in one, they're letting us all get out. So the cop just told me, he's like, hey, they're closing all the exits. It's a guy. He's like, man, I wish I was here with you. He was like, y'all made y'all's point. I promise you, we've already evacuated everybody. If y'all would just step outside. Can't let them arrest. They're not arresting. There's too many of them. There's too many of them. There's too many of them. So what did the officer tell you? He just told us that that they're closing off the exits. Anybody that's caught in there after a certain time period is going to get arrested. They're not in charge anymore. Yeah. We shut it down at 6 o'clock.
So there you have it. They said that they weren't arrested anybody that day, but ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't mean that they weren't going to arrest them later on. But as close as the door as I got, literally, I turned around and I start going back down the steps. Because I was like, all right, well, I got the footage already. I don't need to get any more. I don't need to get tangled up in any more of that nonsense. So I start going back down the steps. So, and of course, they all start singing the Star Spangled Banner. Some of them were all out of key. but yeah, so now I'm back on the ground. And I'm heading back over towards the big tree where Mark and I were when we first started. And I wound up in the video. And, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, what we saw that day was just, it was something that witnessing it, I couldn't believe it. Literally, when I shot the video, I'm literally sitting down going, oh my God, what did I just witness? I couldn't believe what I just witnessed. It was horrifying, to be honest with you. There's no other way to say it. But yeah, speaking of the north side, let me go ahead and show you that. So here we are. Mark and I are over on the north side. We were actually up on this side until they started spraying. Once they started spraying, we got a big gulf of it that came in our direction because wind was blowing that way. That Mark took off running back towards the east side. I came around, went down the steps, came over here. But they were starting to bring windows out. Let me see here. You will hear me say, "Stop it." Let me let's see. Let's see here. Where is it at? You'll actually hear me and literally yell out, "Stop it." Stop him. But right here in the screen. Okay, I got to go back a little bit. Let's see. You'll actually see somebody lift up a barrier trying to throw it into the north side.
Yeah.
It might even be before that. Oh, here it is, right there. There it is.
Stop!
You literally hear me yell, "Stop!"
This is not who we are.
And the majority of the people that were out there, I want to say probably about 85% of the people were actually trying to stop people from actually causing damage. But people start filing in, and then smoke just starts coming out again. You can hear smoke grenades going off. So I'm still standing somewhat downwind, but when it came out, it went down the building, so it really didn't hit me much. But they're literally infiltrating right here on the north side. Is it this one or is it the? Oh, here it is. All right, so here's the smoke right there coming out right there. And again, I'm literally behind the camera just like shaking my head. I cannot believe what we're witnessing. That was just insane. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this whole situation was just insane. I could not believe what I was witnessing. But eventually, I started going over to the west side to meet up with Cash. Cash Jackson and CJ Abernathy. And I got some footage of that too. Let's see, where's it at? Is it this one? Is this the one? No, it was that one. So yeah, so here we are. We're actually on the podium area for the inauguration that was supposed to be happening on the 20th. By this time, they had already had everybody cleared out from those steps right there. This was loaded with individuals, with people. Cash. I'm trying to get. All right. So when I met up with Cash and CJ, they were right here. If you can see where the mouse is, right there. Right there is where the windows where Cash and CJ were when I finally met up with them on the west side. And somebody actually came up with a hammer and started hammering at the window. We're like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop it! It's not us. It's not who we are. So the guy literally, dropped the hammer and took off in another direction. But we wound up going up here to the top to get some better footage. This right here was ridiculous. Them actually with the plank trying to break through the windows. They were throwing stuff inside the door area right here, as you can see. A desk drawer was actually taken out of the Capitol building. A lamp, a chair was all taken out. It was just an all-out insanity, ladies and gentlemen. It was all-out insanity. But yeah, they're literally just throwing stuff. There were some officers that were dragged out of the building as well, and the majority of people were actually protecting them. They took away their nightstick and their shield and everything, and then once they got all the stuff from them that couldn't be used against them, they wound up turning them right back over to the police inside of the building. But yeah, it's unfortunate that there was a couple fatalities this day. One being the officer that was struck in the head with a fire extinguisher. That guy's definitely getting prosecuted, and I hope they throw the book at him for that. But yeah, this is just absolutely insanity. I've never expected to witness anything of such. I'm an American patriot, but I don't condone this at all. I do not condone this whatsoever. But yeah, it was just absolutely insane. So there's somebody spraying right there, a fire extinguisher inside the door. Let me rewind that a little bit. There it goes. You can see it right there spraying inside. Now, the guy that was spraying, he was wearing all black. It had nothing to do with American Patriots or anything. He was wearing all black with the gas mask and everything. This was just, like I said, this was insane. And then, of course, Cash actually did a live interview with ABC 7 down there, but he also did a couple others with some private sector media. Yeah. Those are the rubber bullets that Cash got shot with and the canister that hit him in the head. See? I'm a witness to that. I saw that too on both sides. So that was me. Look, that guy right there, that's Antifa, guys. That's Antifa right there. This guy right here is Antifa. I bet my life on it. This guy is Antifa. You know, Trump supporters that were out there, they weren't wearing masks. You know, Mark said it best. You know, none of them out there were wearing masks. But all of a sudden, look at this guy. He's covered from head to toe. You can't see his face whatsoever. That's Antifa, guys. Yep. Like I said, I had two guys literally behind me acting like a wedge to stop people from pushing me in. See? You hear it right there. They're setting off smoke grenades. They were pepper spraying, tear gas is being used. It was insane. It was just absolutely insane. But you know, look at all the vibrant colors. Look at all the vibrant colors, all the hats and everything. Nobody wearing masks. You know, some may have a face for COVID and whatnot, but you can see their eyes. You can see who they are. And these were all from what we saw were the American patriots that were down at the Washington Monument and the ellipse that day. And then we go back to this one here. And let me zoom in. Yeah. So here we go. I'll zoom that one in too. There you have it. And these were taken by Mark. Mark actually did the circles here. But yeah. So, you know, my experience of the whole thing, I'm still in shock. I still cannot believe that all that took place. I really can't. I still can't wrap my fingers around it. There's more than meets the eye here, and I hate to quote, you know, the Transformers, you know, Optimus Prime on that, but there is more than meets the eye here. There was definitely other things that were at play here. It wasn't just Trump supporters. It was multiple of different organizations that were out there. The people that stormed the east side didn't come from the west side. There was no way that they could even get over to the east side in time. Like I said, Trump was still in the middle of his speech. So there's no way, no possible way that, you know, it was all Trump supporters. There's no way, absolutely no way. You know, these people literally came from behind us over back to where the Supreme Court was. So, you know, the Library of Congress as well, which is right over there. You know, so I beg to differ. This wasn't just Trump supporters and the media making it sound like it was all Trump supporters. I'm sorry. You know, they've already got several people from Antifa, some members of BLM that were inside the Capitol that have also been arrested for being in the Capitol. So that right there just proves that there were members of BLM and Antifa, as well as Trump supporters, and God knows what else. We also know for a fact that Nancy Pelosi's laptop, as well as other members of Congress, of the Senate and the House, were taken. It's speculation that it was a black ops unit. We don't know. You know, it's only on speculation. That's just what we've heard. But you know, we can't make any definitive questions or make any definitive responses to that. But it's what we heard. But it is a proven fact that her laptop and many others were taken. Now, by who? We don't know. Will we ever find out? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We really don't know what's going to happen from here. I think it was a sham for this second impeachment of Donald J. Trump. Again, I'm not a supporter of Donald J. Trump. I never would be a supporter of him. But I'm sorry, the evidence is there. This wasn't just Trump supporters. This wasn't just Trump affiliates. Like I said, it's already been brought out that BLM members were inside the Capitol as well as Antifa as well, and numerous other different organizations, the militia, so forth. They were all inside the Capitol. Like I said, I didn't go in. I did not agree with going in, but as a cameraman, journalist, I have to get some of the rough footage. I refuse to go into the building for my own personal reasons, but I was there on the front lines. I was there at the top of the stairs watching what was going on the inside, from what I could see. If you actually go again to our webpage, if you go to our webpage, rfirn.com, you will be able to see that footage. Let me see if I can pop that up for you again. Hold on one second. Let me cancel out all this. Let's see here. Oh, come on. All right. So this again. Boom. So if you go to our Facebook, to our webpage, Facebook can't take these videos down, but they're all here. There is one more that I am going to be uploading here shortly, along with other shows that we've done in the past. We've been doing this for about 5 years, so it's a lot of videos that we had to upload and put together before putting them on there on our YouTube channel. But yeah, so here are the two videos right now. Like I said, there is one more that I'm working on that's got the north side and the west side footage that I was able to capture. So definitely go to our website and check out those videos. You can also check out the Nancy Schaefer link right here. It's got all her information about her political career, her beliefs, etc. It's got all the links here. Her interview with Alex Jones. The extreme was she murdered by child welfare workers? It's all speculation. But the evidence that we've got, it shows. She was getting ready to expose a lot of different individuals within our government during that time period, and including the Clintons. She was about to expose the Clintons for their work and hands in with CPS and DCF and whatever you want to call it, because it's different in different states. But yeah, definitely go check out our webpage. And check out the link page too. If you have an organization that's out there fighting for family rights and children's rights, etc., do send us a link. Send us your logo and everything. We'll make sure that gets up here too, so people can go to some more links. Will be posted up here shortly in the coming days. More videos will be posted up there. Again, if you want to contact us, you can contact us, through our Facebook page. You can also send us an email at rfirnetwork@gmail.com, rfirnetwork@gmail.com. And you can contact us through the webpage as well. Just shoot us a message. And we'll definitely, get your information out there. If you have a business that you want us to promote, we'll be more than willing to promote you guys. We got to work together. That's what this is for. There's many great organizations like the one with Mark Ludwig, the Americans for Equal Share Parenting. Go out there and check him out as well. So many great things are coming down. With everything that's happened right now, though, it's definitely put a damper on some of this. We don't know what's going to happen. Look what's happening across the border right now down south of us. There's a huge caravan that just clashed with the National Guard in Mexico. So we don't know what's going on down there. I'm still waiting for more information. I'm waiting for some videos to come through. We'll probably report on that probably next Sunday. So definitely, every Sunday right here on YouTube, once we're able to post back to our Facebook. Luckily, we weren't able to post to Facebook today because we were playing these videos. And yeah, I'm telling you, Facebook is starting to censor a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people, from those who were down there, including our president, who's still currently sitting as the current president, Donald J. Trump. I don't agree with the banning of these videos. I'm honestly, there's a lot that's going to be happening, ladies and gentlemen. A lot's going to be happening over the next couple weeks. Be prepared. Have enough food to last a good, 90 days, if not more. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have a way to heat your home, with a generator or something, because it's going to get worse before it gets better, ladies and gentlemen. Like we said, I will be down there for the inauguration. I don't know how close I'm going to be able to get to the Capitol building for that, but we're going to try to get as close as possible. But I can't guarantee it. But we will be down there getting some footage, doing some reporting on it, and we'll do a live, probably through War is Hell podcast on YouTube. So go check out their page as well. Again, all that can be found on right here. So War is Hell podcast for more. Find out more. Just click on that. It literally takes you right to their YouTube channel. So yeah, definitely go check them out. But yeah, it's going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen, before it gets better. And that's where I'm going to end it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I've been working on this new platform. Thank you to CJ for hooking me up with StreamYard. I've never used StreamYard before until CJ and Cash were here at my location, and I love StreamYard. If you haven't used StreamYard, if you're a podcaster, you haven't used StreamYard yet, I highly recommend it. Normally I go through OBS and Zoom, but this is so much easier. There's less windows I have to have open, less things I have to worry about. And yes, I don't have all the hotkeys that I could normally do through OBS, but this works. I actually like StreamYards better. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to end it here for tonight. Like I said, check out our website right there, rfirn.com. You can also send us an email at rfirnetwork@gmail.com. And if you got any questions, you want to be a guest on our show to share your experiences of what you witnessed and so forth, feel free to send us an email. Contact through the webpage, contact us on our Facebook page. We'll definitely get in contact. My staff that we have here, Stephen Ball and many others. Some wish not to have their name be mentioned, but we do have a great staff that's getting all this information and helping us put these shows on. So again, if you want to be a guest on our show to share your family law CPS experiences, please do send us that. We'll get the ball rolling to get you as a guest. I am working on several cases right now with individuals, getting them prepared to bring them on. I got a guy that I actually got to link up with right after this. There's the reason why I'm cutting this a little short tonight. He's been trying to get with me for the last couple of weeks, but with everything that's been going on, it's been extremely hectic. So, but yeah, send us a message. Let's get you on the air. If your exes, want to come on and share their side of the case, we're more than willing to bring them on. Just a brief example, Ira Paskowitz, the sheriff officer from Florida, his ex, Barbara Bergoli, contacted us during that show, believe it or not, and we offered her to come on the show, but because we would not follow what she wanted us to do, that she didn't come on the show. She refuses to come on the show because she can't control what we say or how we say it or what we ask her. So with that, I'm sorry. If you're not going to play by the rules that we provide, to bring you on the show, then I'm sorry. No can do. That's your choice. We want to get both sides because there's always three sides of the story. You got the father side, you got the mother side, and you got the middle, which is where the truth lies. And we want to get to the bottom of the truth, and, heck, if my kid's mother wants to come on here, Stephen Ball is more than willing to, sit down and, do a show with her. She's more than welcome to. If she's wanting to, contact my people and try to bash me and then bash them in the process. She's reached out to Cash. She reached out to Eric Carroll with Dad Talk Today. And, God knows how many other people she's messaged over the years. But, if she wants to come on and share her side, and, I'll take the night off. I'll let Steven take over that show. So, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for those who commented, for those who will in the near future, send us your questions. Let us know. Again, if you want to be a guest, send us a message on Facebook or email, or contact us through the webpage. That's all it is to it. It's not that hard. But we got to get these stories out there. We got to get the communities involved to end this corruption within family courts and CPS. We got to end the corruption within the government, state, and federal levels. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're on the West Coast, that will be 6 p.m. West Coasts. And so forth. So if you're between that, you'll be able to figure out the hours. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We will be posting some more content, as we get through as well, what's coming up on the 20th. Have a great night, and we'll see you next weekend.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, In the name of democracy, let us all unite!